So we have moved as many of our what would have been in-person programming at Sage to online that we could. We're limited in programming that is applicable to an online or phone-in format. And then at Sage, what we do as a unique style is have mostly volunteer-led programming. 2 reasons. It makes it mostly free programming or almost free. So it limits the number of people that can't join because cost is a barrier. And then having volunteers lead it, most of the volunteers are seniors themselves. So it allows seniors to give back their own skills and talents by leading our programs and connecting with other seniors. So while that's great that we have volunteers leading our programs, there was also only a certain number that were comfortable moving to Zoom or a certain number that could be moved to Zoom. Like it's very hard to move your Domino's group to Zoom or something. So we've now moved most of our physical programming, things like yoga, and we have everyday fitness, we have Zumba. So anything on any given day right now, we have about 1 physical activity, and then we try to have about 1 social activity a day, just to engage seniors in different ways that they might not always be interested in physical activity, or they're looking for more of a social opportunity. So things like coffee group or small group discussions, mental health and wellness series, those are other things we've moved online now as well. So our response has actually been quite good in that not a lot of our seniors initially felt comfortable moving to online or felt comfortable with phone-in programming. Obviously, they're used to just coming to Sage. Sage is their second home. That's where they meet their friends and join in. So it was a transition for all of us. Even for me, I had to learn how to do online programming. So uptake has been growing, I would say, actually weekly. We have new people that are feeling comfortable and confident. I would say we have probably 30% of our seniors engaging. Not all are joining the online programs, but some of them are joining in other senior centers that are offering programming, or other kind of community agencies, or meeting with friends instead. But a lot of our seniors are telling us that if they're not joining us, they are finding other ways to at least socialize or connect with others. One of the interesting things that I think has come from it is how many people have said to us that they would have never come to Sage as a physical building, but now that they are home and we have something that they can join in because maybe they're a caregiver or they have some physical limitations or some reasons that they couldn't ever get out of their house, they can now join. So that's been really, I would say, a really great positive out of it. Another great thing is that we've been able to engage some rural seniors that, there's sometimes not a lot of programming in rural communities. So this way, if they have a phone or they have any kind of online abilities, they can join us. We have more men joining in because sometimes they would say, I'm not going to go to the senior center. But, if they're at home and their wife's joining in, maybe our Tai Chi, now they're joining in. So I think that's been a great benefit. I'm not sure if that means when we open again, they'll come to the senior center, but maybe. Another really neat thing is we've had people join from a little bit of everywhere. We've had a cousin that lives in Edmonton told her cousin in Germany about the programming. So now she zooms in from Germany and joins our sing-along. Or we had another senior that was here for our English classes and lived in Edmonton, but when she had to move back home because of the pandemic, she's now in Russia, but she's joining us from Russia for our programming. So it's been really neat way for some of our seniors that wouldn't have been able to join in with other family members or friends from other places. They now kind of come together on our Zoom and meet up. So that's been a really interesting outcome that we never would have predicted. And so I think we're going to try keep up at least some version of online programming because all of these positives have been things we don't want to see end. I think seniors are doing pretty well. Of course, I'm speaking only to the group I see, so they're already kind of connected and engaged, or they're telling me that they're fine, they don't even want to be connected and engaged. They'll just let me know when the building opens, they'll see my face. But I think what I've learned the most out of this is that seniors are doing fine. They're very resilient, and I think that stereotype that seniors don't like change isn't necessarily true. I mean, nobody likes change, but I think they're handling it as well as everybody, and we're all just kind of figuring this out and making best with what we can, and if that's Zoom programming or joining by phone, then just kind of making the best of it.
So if seniors are feeling isolated, what should they do? What do you suggest?
I suggest reaching out, like find a friend or a neighbor or a family member or a community resource that you can connect to. I mean, 211 is a great resource that can give you a broad amount of information, whether it's about actual resources you need, whether it's housing or finances or mental health, but then they can also give you a lot of resources just to do with fun and socializing and tell you how to connect. So my number one thing would just be start trying to get information and find a way to connect. There's a lot of things out there, just a lot of people don't know they exist.